Good afternoon, ladies. So we've got TikTok, YouTube and Facebook on the go. Not many people joining me just yet. We'll give them a couple more minutes. That's it, they're coming. I'm hoping that I've got this on LJ's site and not on my own personal one, because normally... here we go. Hi there, Joanne. Hello, Caroline. There's not many of you ladies on today. Are you not feeling the love? It's not telling me the full amount of people are on, that's why. We're getting there. So we do have YouTube, we have TikTok, and we have Facebook on today. I feel like I'm a, I don't know, TV presenter. I've got all these phones here and it all just looks like and lights and everything going off. It's weird. I only normally have Facebook on. Hi there, Julie. So today I am making a 3-course meal. I missed last week's cooking purely because I was busy at work. We'd got a couple on sick and we'd got a couple on holiday. So I've managed to see you live today. Fantastic. A cold day in the south. It's quite warm up here, to be honest. The sun's shining, so I've had to shut the blind because otherwise you wouldn't see me. And then I've had to put lots of lights on because obviously then it would be dark with the blinds down, and put lots of lights on for you so you can see. So we've got quite a few people on at the minute, a few people on Facebook, and we do have quite a few people on YouTube and a few people on TikTok. So for some of you ladies who don't know, for some unknown reason, I know we are a clothing boutique, but for some unknown reason I've managed to talk myself into doing a little bit of a cooking program, Cooking with Leesa. And I've got to be honest, it's brought back my passion for cooking again. And I've made quite a lot for you ladies, lasagna, Christmas dinner with all the trimmings, and I dressed the table up and everything like that. Hi there, Audrey. And quite a few other things. We've had bread and butter pudding and stews and all sorts. So what I thought I would do today with my mission last week was I would do a 3-course meal. And what we're going to do, we're going to do ciabatta bread, not using ciabatta bread this time around. It's very similar. I'm getting all my words mixed up because I'm quite warm and I've been busy all afternoon and rushing around like a deranged idiot. But the starter is going to be bruschetta, and I absolutely love bruschetta. It is one of my favourite starters of all time. There's certain ingredients I don't like when we're going out for a meal, but this particular one is just easy peasy to make. I've made it once before and fell in love with it, and obviously I've done steak before, so we're going to have steak. But for the ladies that don't like steak, I actually cooked a chicken breast for you as well, just to show you the results of that. I have never cooked onion rings before, so I'm going to make them. And we're going to have a full-on steak dinner with 3-course meal. Hi there, Jane. So to start with then, we're going to start with the bruschetta. So literally, cut your bread, and I've had this for dinner. Gorgeous, honestly. So what I did earlier on, it's always good to prep prep the bruschetta. So you just literally get some of these little small tomatoes and you just chop them in four. Pop them in a dish, olive oil, and then I tend to use the vinegar, just a little bit, because it gives you some really nice flavour. So I've literally just popped that in there, a little bit of oil, and the balsamic vinegar. So you've chopped your bread in half, a little bit of an oil, not too much, because the tomatoes are full of oil as well. So just spread it around so it's all over the bread, not just in the areas that I've just chucked it on. And then a little bit on there again. Again, not too much, because you don't want it to be too strong, and the tomatoes are absolutely full. Now I did that this morning and I put it in the fridge to keep it nice and cold, because again I do love it when everything, all my tomatoes and any sort of vegetable, fruit and salads, I do like them freezing cold. Freezing cold. So I hope I've got enough tomatoes now. I should do, because I ate most of them for dinner. I had one of these bruschettas at dinner time. Pop a bit on the side just there. And a little bit more of the vinegar. And that's it. That's my starter. Just as easy as that. Just bear with me, I'm just going to pop the fryer on. As we talk about the main course. So literally that is it, that's my starter, and honestly there is lots and lots of flavour in that one. So literally just chopping the tomatoes up, pop them in a dish with some more olive oil, then you've got the balsamic vinegar, pop a little bit in that, mix it well, and then pop that in the fridge until you're ready to serve. Serve it very, very last minute. Some people like their bread to be toasted. Hi Lee. Some people like their bread to be toasted. You can do, but then let it cool down a little bit and then pop your tomatoes on. And honestly, it is full of flavour, that. It really is. So that's our starter. I'm going to just pop that over here for now. My tea for tonight. So what have we got next? Just let me grab some paper, and we're gonna start with dinner, because dinner needs to be cooked, and then in between what I'm going to do is show you the desserts that I've done, and I've done it from scratch. And I have never, ever, ever done that before, ever. I've never cooked it before. And it looks delicious, so I'm hoping. Sorry, it's drizzle. It's drizzle, sorry. Because there is a difference. You can have just vinegar, which is like a fluid, or you can have the drizzle, which means you just put a tiny bit in. But they're just so full of flavour, that it really is. My favourite anyway. I mean, you can do, if you want to, you can have prawns, you can actually do different types of tomatoes if you want to, you can add some garlic onto that, and there's just lots of different ways of doing it. Afternoon, just doing our food, pork steaks and roast spuds, mash and veg. Ah, oh, fantastic, my favourite, mashed spuds. Do you buy a sack of potatoes like I do, or am I just the unusual one that does that? Because I love sacks of potatoes. We use taters all the time. I know we're not supposed to, but we do. We use taters all the time. I mean, last night, I did actually make chips last night as well for Olivia, and we had lasagna and chips. And then the day before we had cheesy potatoes and sausage and beans. So, you know, I have potatoes just about every night. So the main course then, the main course. Let's pop this in oven. So what I've done is I've just peeled the mushrooms, and I've glazed them with a bit of butter, and then I've also got the tomatoes as well. And I'm going to put them in the oven with the chicken. The chicken's on pre-cook, and that looks like it's nearly done. So they're ready for, that's it. They are ready for serving. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to prep the batter for the onion rings. I've never done this before, and I don't know what they'll turn out like, so let's give it a go. So it says I needed salt, so the salt's already in there. It said I needed a cup of flour, which is plain flour, half a cup of milk, and half a cup of water. Apparently batter is all about how thick you make it, and make it nice and smooth. So that's in there, and I honestly think that's probably a little bit too thin for my liking. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty certain that is just a little bit too, I'll just leave that there, thin. That's a bit better, more like a texture. Because don't forget, it has to fry. Maybe I put a bit too much milk in. So that there, in my honest opinion, is a better. Only us two. Yeah, there's only us two as well. And if you make sure that you put your sack of potatoes in a dark, dry place, they won't sprout. If they do, you can still use them. It's only when they go green that you can't use them. So that's my batter. Flour, half a cup of milk and half a cup of water, salt, and that's it. So that is ready. I'm going to leave that there for now because the chips are now cooking, the chicken's cooking, and then I've also got the tomatoes and mushrooms cooking. So what I'm going to do is pop my frying pan on, put the peas in there. Andrew's loving this, you know, because he gets home cooked meal. Steak. So this is a really good cut of sirloin steak. I like mine rare. Andrew likes to have his medium. So I'm going to cook Andrew's now. Well, I'm going to cook it as a rare, but then I'll warm it back up when he comes home later. But basically, that is a really good joint of steak. And I'm going to pop that in, just letting the butter melt. I'm going to put the salt and pepper in. And then pop that in there to nicely cook. The chips are cooking. Lots of you ladies have come to join me. So if you've missed the starter, then please do watch it on catch up. We made bruschetta, and basically that is just nice chunky bread with tomatoes, olive oil, and the balsamic drizzle vinegar. And honestly, you will love it. The flavour is just divine. Right, so we have got that ready. The chips are cooking. Everything's in the oven. So I'm going to leave all that now. And what I'm going to do is get the pudding out, because I've made one prior just to show you what I've made. Look at that. That's the first time I've ever made that. I am well chuffed. I really am well chuffed on that. So basically what I've done, let me just move that out of the way. So I watched again on a reel, and I just watched them make it, and I thought, wow, I'm going to make that. So literally I've got some puff pastry. That's all you need, just some puff pastry, and cut it. Get your pizza cutter. Cut it into little bits. This is a bit dried out actually. I'm just going to get rid of that one. A bit dried out. Now reopen the other one. Nice and fresh. Never used this before, I've got to be honest. Never ever used this before. I'm not very good with pastry. I've got to be honest with you there. I do not do pastry very well at all. I think it's because I've just got really hot hands, and you're supposed to have the pastry cold, aren't you? So what I've done is I've actually got a Yorkshire pudding tin, but I've turned it upside down, and I put lard on it just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the pan. And all as you do is just stretch it a little bit so it's long enough to go around the Yorkshire pudding tin, like so. And then just press it down. That's why it's quite important to use the lard on there so it won't stick to the actual pan. I'm a rubbish cook, love watching. Oh, thank you for that. You know, I've never done this before. Lives, I can talk about clothes all the time, but when it comes to something like cooking, it's really unusual to talk about things like that. So sometimes I do stutter a little bit as to what I'm going to say. So bear with me on it. But I mean, not everybody can cook, and I don't proclaim to be the best cook, you know, a professional cook. I'm just a day-to-day cook, and I do love cooking for sure. So that is now on. So just stretch it a little bit. I am going to make some more, to be fair. I'm not going to allow this to waste, because no doubt the office will want some tomorrow. Sally's already said that the one thing she would like to have a eat on, and that's one of these. So basically just wrap it around like so, and pop it on. Make sure it's all nicely stuck down. And then what you need to do is just let me wrap this back up before I forget to do that. And then I've got an egg in there, and you brown it with the egg, just like so. And then when they have cooked, that there, out of the way. Getting quite good at this actually, aren't I? Pre-prepping the food ready. What can I smell? Oh, you little beauty. So obviously with the steak, I've only got it on 5 at the moment, because like I say, Andrew likes his to be medium, so I've just got it on 5 to do a slow cook. I've already put some salt on, but I'm going to put a bit more on, and a little bit more pepper. I'm going to leave that. The tomatoes are cooking nicely, and the mushrooms are cooking nicely. Just let me check the chips. Right, the chips are nearly done. So I'll just give them a couple of minutes. And this, so from that pan, I put them in the oven until they're brown, and this is the result. How gorgeous is that? Puff pastry. So then what I've done is I lined it with strawberries, my most favourite fruit of all time. Lined it with strawberry, and I made some custard. So whilst it's still quite warm, this is just starting to cool down a bit, but whilst it is still warm, not hot, grab another. Whilst it's still warm, so that it can spread evenly into the pastry, like so. That's great. Okay. So then I have got some fresh cream, just bear with me, I know I'm not in camera. So I have got some fresh cream that I have whipped. It's not fully thick, this one, because I did do it too soon, I think. So if you're using whipped cream, you know it's quite thick, and you could use a bag and do it really nicely that way on. So there is the cream. So what I've done is popped some strawberries on there, like so. And then let's grab this. Clear that up. And then melt some chocolate and just do a little bit of a drizzle on there like that. Just to top it up a little bit. And there's your pudding. If you wanted to, because I love blueberries as well, if you wanted to just add a little bit more flavour to that, pop some blueberries on and do another little bit of a drizzle, like so, just to tie them all in. And there's the pudding. Put my thing out of the way, just bear with me. I'll just turn the steak over again. That's it. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to turn that up a little bit now to brown it off, nicely brown. I can never make custard. Custard is so easy. Honestly, it is just so easy. Now, even Andrew can make custard now. Whoops. Ooh. Even Andrew can make custard. So basically you get 3/4 of a pint, depends how many you're serving, but if you're serving 4, you get 3/4 of a pint of milk and put it on warm. And then all as you do, you get 2 big heaps of powder. And what I use as well, where did I put my sugar? Rather than using sugar, because obviously I've got to cut down on all my sugar intake, I've started using the granulated sweetener. So all you do then is just pop a spoonful of that in, and you get a tiny bit of milk, like so. Oops. I need some more of that. Yeah, I will. Right, just going to turn that down again a little bit. Let me finish the custard off shortly, because what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to put the onion rings in. And bear with me, because again, I've never ever made these before, so this is all new to me. So literally, just need my blueberry. Right, so the chips are all done. I'm now making onion rings. So I'm just going to make a couple. And the onion rings are now in the fryer, so fingers crossed that they turn out as good as they do. So let's finish the custard. So basically I have put 2 large tablespoons of custard. Again, it depends how thick you want it. If you want it as thick as what it is on the pie, then you do need it quite thick. Because you don't want it runny, obviously. So all as you do, it's a bit hard at the minute because I left it for a second. But just keep stirring it until it's nice and smooth, and pretend that I'm warming the milk up. So once it's all mixed up, just like that, once it's all mixed up, all as you need to do then is go to your pan of warm milk, not hot milk, just warm milk, pour it in, and that's it. Just keep stirring until it gets thick. It will take around about 10 minutes to warm up. So put it on high, on the ring I would say about 6, and then allow it to just keep stirring, and then it'll come on a smooth paste like that. The thicker you want it, the more powder you put in. And if you're just having it custard on apple pie, then I would probably just do 1 heap and 1 normal spoonful. So that's pudding. Are you impressed, ladies? Because I am. I am well impressed. I have never ever made this before. Never used the just roll before, which is the puff pastry. Never used it before. Literally just copied off a reel on Facebook. It looked delicious, so I thought I'd give it a trial. And there we go. That's pudding. Pudding sorted. Right, let's just move that out the way because we're going to now do dinner. So, dinner. Let me just see how they're cooking. I always cook my chips in the back kitchen, which is the where I do all my washing and everything, because I can't stand it cooking in here. Right, so this is cooking beautifully, because again it depends how you like it cooked as to how long to keep it on the pan. So it's got enough salt and pepper. I've cooked it with butter, and fantastic, thank you Caroline. And that is now cooking. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to bring the tomatoes and mushrooms out now, and the chicken, because I am aware that a lot of you people, ladies, don't like to have meat, which is absolutely spot on. Everybody's preference is different. So I'm just going to pop a chicken there. That's still cooking. Right, we'll leave that for a second. Then I'm going to put tomatoes on there. And put that tomatoes on there. Mushrooms. Oh, they're my favourite food of all time. They always shrink though, don't they? Always shrink. So that's my mushrooms, tomatoes, and in the meantime, just while we're waiting on the Where's it gone? Here it is. Waiting on the onion rings. I've never made onion rings before in my life, and I don't think they're going to turn out very well. So I'll have to have a bit of a lesson and try and find out how you do them properly. Now this one, I love this sauce. I will not make it by hand because I don't know how to make it as nice as this. So I always buy this. It's called the creamy pepper sauce, and it is absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop this in the microwave and warm it up. And where's my, here it is. Turn this over again. Oh, it's looking lovely. Now, that batter didn't turn out very well at all, so I tried, but it didn't turn out very well at all, so I'm not even going to bring it in here, to be fairly honest. So, the next step is the peas. Pop a few peas on there. And the chips, so literally, I'm not posh, I don't want to stack them up or anything like that. But what I did with these this time, I actually cooked them twice. So I did them really, really thick and put them in. I put them in the fryer. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. This is the Ophelia, the one that I was showing you on Tuesday night. It's reduced now. I think it's $19.99, and I love this. It's beautiful dress. Honestly, absolutely beautiful. So I part cooked them, then turned the frying pan off, the chip fryer off, and then I went back to it when I just started the live. So I literally just did cook them twice. So I'm just going to turn this off now. So in my honest opinion, this is just about done nicely. It's still pink in the middle. It is still pink in the middle. And that's just how Andrew likes it. Nice and crispy on the front, and then still a little bit rare in the middle. So that is spot on for him. And then the sauce. Now I'm not going to put it on because obviously Andrew's got to eat this. And there's the sauce. So that's ready. That is literally the 3-course meal that I have prepped. I've done that as a chicken, and I've done that as your steak. So let's just put that there. Let's grab the starters. So there's the starter. There's your main meal. And there is your pudding. So literally 3-course meal there, and it hasn't taken me all day to prep. I can't read that. I'll come back to it. I think you've just received something from the sale. Beautiful, got black. Oh, you've got the Ophelia. Yeah, beautiful dress, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. I've got to be honest, I put a navy blue away for myself as well. Do you not cook the starter at all? No, you don't need to cook the starter. You can toast the bread if you want to. Once you cut it, you can toast it if you want to, but I don't. I like mine to be quite soggy, if you know what I mean. Not soggy, but softer rather than crunchy. So I love that the way it is. So literally you just chopping the tomatoes up, then you put olive oil in it, then the balsamic vinegar, but I use the drizzle. There's a difference. The vinegar is quite watery, whereas the drizzle is thicker. And then all I do is just mix it all together, but then leave it to soak for a few hours, because what it does, it gives it a lot more texture and a lot more flavour. So leave it to soak. Cut your bread in half. Pop a little bit of oil on it, and then the vinegar again, and then just top it with tomatoes, and that's it. Do it about half an hour before you're due to sit down, because the bread then gets the full flavour of the oil and the vinegar as well. And the dinner is self-explanatory. The chicken looks a bit dry, so I do apologise. I'm not really a chicken fan, so thank you, Julie. The steak looks divine. The chips actually are really, really nice. I'll cook them that way again, to be fair. And then the pudding. What do you think of the pudding? Let me cut it in half and let me show you what it looks like. What have I done with my knife? It's here. Them chips are beautiful. When you're having steak, it's always nice to have chunky chips. And that's the way I did them. I did them chunky, but I was a bit scared that they wouldn't cook in the middle. Who's coming for tea? Me! Me and Andrew, that's all. These puddings, to be honest, will be distributed to the team tomorrow. They'll be popped in the office. So there you go. Inside is your pastry. You've got a layer of your strawberries. You've got your custard, your cream, and then some more strawberries on top with a hint of chocolate. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was the 3-course meal, and I still can't believe I only do it within half an hour to 40 minutes. It's crazy, but I'm loving these chips. So I've got the bruschetta, chicken, steak. Again, cook your steak how you would prefer it to be cooked. I'm going to give a go Valentine's weekend. Brilliant. What about your onions? The crap. So I'm not going to do them. I need to find out how to do them properly. I only researched the batter ingredients, and for some reason it just didn't work out. So ideally we should have some onion rings on there as well, because that's what you have for steak, don't you? It is supposed to be that. So tomatoes, mushrooms, peas, chips and steak. And then you've got your pudding that I've made from scratch, never made before in my life, and I can't wait to get stuck into that. It looks divine, it really does. But it just opens your eyes as to what you can actually do with that pastry now. Lots and lots of different things. I do like jam roly-poly. Yeah, at least I've tried, yeah, but I will try again, because I'm a person that's quite determined and making sure that I do something and I do it right, so I'll try again. And that's the whole point of this, is trying with you, and if it doesn't work, I'll just try again. But these, I'm going to be buying some more of these. It's the first time I've ever tried them, and I think they're amazing, because I'm not very good with my hands with pastry. I can't make pastry, never have done. I can do anything else, but not pastry. And I will be experimenting with this again for sure. Right, I'm done. If you've got any questions whatsoever, please do message the page regarding this dinner. Message the page and I'll answer any questions that you have. Thank you for joining. If you have a preference on what you would like me to make next week, then please let the page know as well, and I'll find something else to cook next week. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Just turn them all off.